image is making me think of a dragon. Like that little light in the middle. Okay, so once again, that just aligns with those messages that I posted earlier today. So it says, this can represent many years of denying our self-worth and also moments during many lifetimes when we've pushed love away. But now we are moving closer to the love we are. And like I said, I clarified, that's your love for yourself. Unconditional love for yourself, not judging yourself. We're throwing that freaking crap out. All of that thinking that you need to be perfect, throw it out. So it says connect. Place your hands on your heart space and breathe deeply. Invite the sacred temple within to lower its drawbridge and open its gate so that you can experience love in harmony. Okay, so we're going to jump into your message, but you guys, I didn't even freaking realize, what does that say right there? 144. Okay. This was no mistake that they brought us here. They want you to know who they're talking to. Okay. I'm hearing this is also dealing with your chakra systems. All right. So I won't get too much into that. Maybe I'll post a video about that. But yeah, this is also dealing with your chakra systems. There is mathematics and sacred geometry involved with that. Okay. That deals with the 144, in addition to it just being a representation of the chosen ones. Okay. So definitely look into that. 144,000 in regards to chakra systems. So your message, your heart space is a sacred space deep within you. For some time, you have protected it with psychic shields that have not only stopped you from being hurt, but also stopped you from feeling loved. This gateway appearing shows that you have finally, and I'm turning the page, but I just want to say, like, I literally thought about this today. Okay, so it's giving, let those guards down. That you've dropped these shields and are ready to experience love. Universal wisdom wants you to know that this is your divine right. You are a highly empathic and generous soul who has so much to give, and you are being called forth to reveal the deeper and more vulnerable aspects of your being. Divine light beings are surrounding you, holding you, and encouraging you to relax. All the restrictions and blockages of your heart space have now been removed. The worst is behind you and the world needs you. That's so dope because I'm seeing this card again. You are safe. But once again, you guys, if we're in alignment, then this is what you've been doing. Okay, you're becoming more vulnerable. You're allowing the world to see the parts of you that you literally try to hide away. And I talked about that in one of my videos today, that I recently watched the movie The Mask. I watched that movie years ago when I was a kid. And of course, it was just cool and entertaining. But I watched it again recently and bro, it is deeply esoteric. You have to go and check it out, because the whole idea behind it was that the mask was who he truly was. When he put on the mask, it's like he let go of all his inhibitions, right? He actually expressed himself fully. And when he took the mask off, that's when he was actually wearing the mask. That's crazy, right? Yeah. So it's making me think about alcohol, right? Because we always say people lose their inhibitions when they drink alcohol. Well, it's true, because you stop caring about what people think about you. Okay? So it's good to lose those inhibitions, because that is the mask. So it's giving lose the mask. But definitely go and check out that movie, because once again, it's going to have a completely different meaning to you now that your third eye is open. Now that you're older, you can, really understand certain things that you might have not been able to see, or things that you might have just missed as a kid. So we're going to jump over to Emerald Tablet Activation. Okay. And it says here, cosmic ordering, divine alchemy, conscious manifestation. Well, It says conscious manifesting. Who cares? You guys understand what I'm saying, right? Yeah, you can see it. Okay, so I'm speaking to some master manifestors. I'm speaking to some alchemists. Okay? You'll know if this resonates. But if you're aligning with me, it definitely resonates. So let's go ahead, and I'm being led to just kind of keep that in the back there. So maybe there's something that you guys need to just focus in on. Actually, yeah, I'm just going to keep it here for a little bit, okay? Because they didn't really want me to take that out of the visual. So it says the Emerald Tablet is one of the most celebrated of the Hermetic texts, a series of sacred Egyptian Greek texts from the 2nd century or earlier. They form the basis of Hermeticism, a spiritual tradition that brings together science and spirituality through investigations into the cosmos, mind, and nature. Most of the texts are a series of dialogues between a teacher and a student and are based on the concept of alchemy, the art of turning lead into gold, or something that is leaden and heavy into a golden opportunity. The Emerald Tablet is said to have been carved on a bright green stone that was transported to Egypt around the fall of Atlantis and stored in the halls of Amenti under the Great Pyramid. Although this legend is widespread, the origin of the text is shrouded in mystery. We do know that this is made up of 14 passages, which first appeared in a book written sometime between the 6th and 8th centuries, and has been highly influential. Its most famous statement is, "As above, so below," meaning that what is in the high heavens is reflected upon the earth. The author signs off as Hermes Trismegistus, which is another name for Thoth, who is featured in this deck, and is thought to have been the priest king of Atlantis. The idea is that he knew of the approaching end of that civilization and hid the Emerald Tablet and many other teachings in order to preserve them for spiritual aspirants in the future. And those spiritual aspirants I'm hearing are you, my love. Okay? So that's so crazy because we have Thoth right here. Bro, look, everything serves a purpose. Okay? That's what they're having me to say. And I keep looking at this you matter, so maybe somebody needs to hear that right now or see that you matter. Okay? Yes, you matter, sweetheart. And now it looks like we're ready for the Annunaki light codes, and you guys see the purple. Okay? Exactly. We're following the trail. All right? We're following the breadcrumbs here. I'm hearing Yellow Brick Road. All right? So maybe somebody just saw Wizard of Oz. But let's go ahead and jump over to Annunaki light codes. We're flowing, you guys. Okay? We still have a few more cards. I want to get to those. Not that I'm rushing, because once again, if it's meant to align, then it will. Okay? But I'm feeling fired up because we are closing this up. We're wrapping this up. So let's go ahead and move on to Annunaki light code. Annunaki light codes, energetic shift, new information, end of cycle. And this is so timely because I told you guys you just ended the initiation. Woo! So that's confirmation, okay? They just brought that to my attention. So you've ended your own cycle. So I'm hearing that you've been going through this initiation for years. I'm seeing the number 13, okay? 721 could also be significant. But yeah, you've been in a cycle within your own life. And now I'm seeing cords cut, okay? So once again, it's the end, okay? So Annunaki light codes. The Anunnaki are a race of cosmic light beings who have been coming to Earth since ancient times. The Sumerians and Babylonians acknowledged them as the deities who govern the space between the worlds. The divine leader of this incredible race is the goddess Ishtar, a powerful figure similar to the Egyptian goddess Isis. The Anunnaki have taken many forms throughout the ages. They have an angelic warrior-like quality and have appeared with wings, sometimes up to 4, and with an elongated head and face similar to that of an eagle. When the Annunaki appear, it's important to know they are heavenly allies supporting our healing and ascension. In the distant past, they visited the Atlantean civilization and helped those who were aligned with their spiritual path to ascend to the next dimension so that they could leave the wheel of karma. They acted as divine judges, deciding who could ascend and who had to be left behind for the growth of their soul. Those who had abused their powers and had not honored the divine or valued the great gift of life they had been given had to remain for the cataclysmic ending of their civilization. For that reason, some people who have had Atlantean incarnations may fear the Anunnaki, but be assured that they are beings of infinite light working for Source. So I just realized we've already read this card, but once again, everything happens for a reason. So there's a reason they wanted us to go over that one again, okay? I think I read this one the other day. But yeah, I'm seeing here new information that's standing out to me. So there might have been some new information that you've obtained from me reading that again, okay? I know that I keep seeing Predator in my freaking third eye, bro. Okay, I just did a video today and I put Predator in there. So there is some type of connection, okay? And it's funny because it talked about they have an angelic warrior-like quality and have appeared with wings, sometimes up to 4, and with an elongated head and face similar to that of an eagle. So you know what it's making me think about? There was something that they described in the Bible like that. Okay. Yeah, because they used to describe like a lot of different beings and stuff in the Bible. I remember there was one that had like the body of a bear and the head of a lion, and they had all these different like Chronicles of Narnia type of creatures in there, and so it just made me think of that. Okay, so next I'm seeing Sword of Light. So this is where they want us to go. Okay, all right, so Sword of Light, it says here divine protection, cords cut, breakthrough energy. Yeah, that makes sense because like I said, I kind of touched base on this card earlier. It was standing out to me. So this is beautiful how everything is just flowing, you guys. And thank you so much for bearing with me, especially if there's parts that you've already seen and you're watching again. But once again, all of this is resonating. Everything is happening for a reason. So maybe even though you watched it the other day, you needed to hear it right now. Okay? So just go with the flow. But it says Sword of Light. The Sword of Light is the main energetic tool of the Archangel Michael, the Prince of Heaven. His name means he who is like God, and he is considered Source's right-hand man. Wow. That is so dope because Archangel Michael is definitely like one of those angels that's my ride or die. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been here with me. So I'm very honored. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Thank you. Okay. And I'm seeing all the blue here. So that's usually his color. But yeah, thank you for protecting us, man. And I'm hearing we're soldiers too. So it's making me think about in the Bible when they talk about the angels that are soldiers in the army. Like you were one of those angels. I just want you to know that. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. So you were one of those angels. I know they talk about fallen angels. Understand that the connotation behind that is not that you're bad. Okay. You had to fall to earth. You had to fall in vibration. That's what I'm hearing. Your energetic vibration had to fall. Of course, as an angel, you know, you don't have all this density that we have here. You don't have these limiting beliefs. So you're very godlike. Okay. Yes, we're all God, but I'm saying in a sense of your vibration. So when you came here, your vibration had to fall, even though you're an angelic being. Okay. That's what it means to be a fallen angel. It's not something like, oh, how they make it like Lucifer and blah, 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 and all this stuff. Okay? That's what it is. So you're a fallen angel. And it's simply because your energetic frequency fell when you came to earth. It had to. Okay? Because we all forget. So it says, he is the archangel who has chosen to guide and protect all light workers. What did I say? Yes, he is protecting you. And we had it out here. You were safe. Angels are here. So Archangel Michael was telling you, I am here. Okay. He's making an appearance. So it says, anyone who is feeling called to make a difference on this planet can be guided and supported by him. The sword of light has been pictured as both a spear of light and a lightning bolt. Either way, it's a powerful symbol of truth and spiritual power. For some reason, I just thought about Thor and his hammer. Okay. It says, even though it is carried by Michael, it can be invoked by all of those working in the light to help them move beyond blockages and limitations and to sever cords of fear. Joan of Arc invoked it when she was going into battle. Guys, I'm about to lose my effing mind. I literally channeled Joan of Arc earlier. I channeled her, bro. And so what I said exactly, I was like, I'm invoking the energy of Joan of Arc. That's what I said. Like, I am Joan of Arc, okay? And I also mentioned Oya, which is the lightning. She's like the storm of the Orishas, okay? And so I said that out loud to myself. I was like, I am Oya. I am Joan of Arc. Tell me why the video that I watched with Shay, okay, Shay Pila, she talked about Joan of Arc. So my mind was blown. I was like, this is definitely my message. There were so many confirmations, and it's just letting me know that we are tapped in, okay? I'm channeling straight from source. I'm channeling straight from my guides, from the angels. So you guys are getting it here first, baby. You're getting the scoop, okay? This is the spiritual tea. But that is so dope, okay? So Joan of Arc is definitely significant. But it says Joan of Arc invoked this sword of light when she was going into battle. So it says you can connect by visualizing yourself engulfed in golden light. Say, sword of light, thank you for cutting the unnecessary cords that bind me to fear. I stand in truth and light, fulfilling the call of my soul. And you guys can call on Archangel Michael to assist you and to cut those cords, okay? Now, your message is that when this card comes to you, know that it is a confirmation that you are walking the path of light and responding to pre-incarnation soul contracts. We talked about that with the other card, okay? It says to make a difference on the planet. It is also a sign that you have the opportunity to sever connections to fears and limitations. Energetic cords bind us to situations, loved ones, and even the past. But you are in a transition now and detaching from unnecessary connections, dramas, and fears. Know that there will be a great severing at this time, and you might feel isolated for a moment as you will be reconfiguring your circle. As I turn the page, you guys, that's so funny. I said, as I turn the page, you're turning the page in your life. Yeah, it's a new chapter starting for you. Okay. It says, trust and moving into life that is in greater alignment with your highest good. Know that the cords that bind you to loved ones and soul family will remain intact. It's only the low vibrational connections that are being severed. Expect breakthroughs and doors of opportunity opening for you. If you feel strongly connected to Archangel Michael, know that his energy is with you now. Woo woo! What's up, Archangel Michael? Okay, so I heard you're about to have your breakthrough, okay? Because this breakthrough energy And I'm seeing this card here, Akashic Records. So I believe we already tapped into that one. I'm yawning, you guys. I told you what it means when I start yawning, okay? So I'm yawning. The angels are here. Our ancestors are here. The star beings are here. I'm hearing. Okay, so I'm hearing Venusian Galactic Council. So this is where they want us to go next. All right, star being guides, answer the call, time to shine. So that's what we're going to be tapping into. I'm going to go ahead and open the book. And then it looks like we're going to be jumping into Orion activation. That one is standing out to me next. So I'm excited.